Last night we got a brand new side of Alexa Bliss. Of course, this was a new transformation, a new character emerging out of Little Miss Bliss. It's something we as fans have been waiting for weeks, for months at this stage, and they didn't disappoint. Now, last night, of course, we did cover everything in things you might have missed, but we didn't touch on what is Alexa Bliss transforming into. The reason being, genuinely, I wanted to go back. I wanted to watch this in more detail. I wanted to see what WWE was tweeting and see what actually was being said. And I'm really pleased that I waited, because I think today we can give a more educated response to the question, what is the new Alexa Bliss? Now, we all saw how that transformation took place. Of course, this weird graphic flashed up on the screen of pain, and it basically led to her transformation. However, during this actually showing up, there was a secret hidden message that Twitter was very, very quick to find. Take a listen for yourselves. Let's reduce the speed a little bit and see if you can work it out. Now, some people are hearing the word sister, other people are hearing the word sis, some people are hearing the word bliss, and some people really cleverly sped that down even more than I can do, to actually hear the word possession is being said during that small clip. Very, very cool, if you ask me. It's something we've seen from Alexa Bliss on the Firefly Funhouse. Of course, when Bray Wyatt would use the heel glove, we'd see Alexa Bliss's eyes basically go into that weird trance with those contacts in. It was absolutely brilliant. Now, easy to be said, she did not have those contacts in last night on Raw. She also didn't have that tongue coming out of her mouth. But nonetheless, if that was a possession, what was she possessed by? How about Bray Wyatt? Now, it's an interesting theory for you. We've seen this. Bray used the heel glove and then whispered into Alexa's ear. Alexa's looking down. She's not looking at anything. And what if she believes that there's a voice in her head telling her what's happening, and that voice belongs to Bray Wyatt? It would make sense with the current story with Randy Orton. We saw Randy Orton on Raw last night, and once again, he spoke about the voices in his head. Remember, the voices had got quieter after he burned the Fiend. Now, they're louder than ever. If they are Bray Wyatt's voices, that would make a lot of sense. What if Bray Wyatt is the mastermind behind all of these people going through their character transformations? We know the Fiend changes people. So has he changed Alexa Bliss to become a Fiend? Has he changed Randy Orton to become whatever the hell he's turning into? Don't forget, we've seen before Alexa even joined the Firefly Funhouse, her stalking the Fiend. Everywhere the Fiend would go, of course, Alexa Bliss wasn't that far away. She was watching and learning. We've kind of seen the Fiend side of her come out before when she gave that awful death stare to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the man who just returned to WWE and basically took the Universal Championship away from Bray and Braun and their rivalry that was happening at the time. I think everyone theorized at that moment that Alexa was sending a message that he hasn't forgot about you, Roman. That would make a lot of sense when you see what happened on Raw the other week with Triple H, when he got what we think was a warning shot when his sledgehammer got set on fire. Without a doubt, Triple H could easily become a victim of the Fiend in the future. So was this a warning shot just like that death stare was to Roman Reigns? Starts to make you think that Little Miss Bliss isn't all that innocent. There are, of course, a lot of people drawing comparisons with Alexa Bliss to Abby the Witch and, of course, Sister Abigail, and it makes perfect sense. I'm not sold on this theory, and the only reason I'm not sold on it is because I think we've seen more to offer evidence that she's turning into a Fiend-like character. Of course, there's a comparison with the way Alexa Bliss moved her lipstick and smudged it down her face to look almost like that doll. We have seen her portray Sister Abigail in the past, although we kind of believed that this was Sister Abigail impersonating Alexa Bliss rather than Alexa Bliss impersonating Sister Abigail. It gets confusing, but if you know what I'm saying, I know you're understanding it, right? But the main reason I think she's a Fiend-like character is the mannerism she used during the match with Asuka last night. You saw her do that back bend in the corner where she bent over just like Bray Wyatt does. You saw her just stare into the distance, into absolute nothingness, barely breathing during the match. She didn't put that much effort in, and she barely worked up a sweat. And most importantly, the mandible claw. Now, this is something I found very interesting. The fact Alexa didn't hit the move. We know, and we've kind of theorized in the past, that it's the actual mandible claw that allows the Fiend to change people. If that's true and she is becoming a female Fiend, well, that would mean that she has the power to change people too. And the fact she didn't hit the mandible claw last night prevents Asuka having to change anytime soon. Doesn't mean she won't in the future. Maybe to that dark warrior Kana that she once portrayed in professional wrestling. That would be kind of fun. You got to believe that Kana in WWE, mixed up with everything WWE can do, would just be amazing. But all of that, and Alexa Bliss obviously no-selling everything Asuka pretty much did, is the Fiend. We saw what the Fiend did with Seth Rollins' curb stomps. He stood back up. He did not feel pain, and he decided when he wanted to lay down and when he wanted to stand up. And he's done that throughout his WWE career, including Goldberg, just FYI. But the truth is, Alexa was exactly the same last night. Asuka did everything she could, but much like the Fiend, Alexa just no-sold everything. Now, it might mean Alexa's on her own if she is portraying the Fiend character. It might mean that Bray Wyatt's coming back with something new, and that might be why the Fiend character is with Alexa. It might just be that the Fiend returns and we have two Fiends in two different divisions, and I think that's a recipe for success. I genuinely do. I think this has been an amazing story. The way the transformation was done last night was absolutely shocking. There's a reason that transformation and that match and the Alexa Bliss story is once again the most viewed video for WWE on YouTube from Monday Night Raw, because most people genuinely did enjoy it, and I hope you did too, because it was so much fun. And that's the thing. Wrestling doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be real. It just has to be fun. Will Alexa Bliss get her own Fiend-style mask? Maybe. And only time now will tell. I hope she does, in the sense that I don't want him just to say she has the Fiend powers without wearing the Fiend's mask. But they could be trying to portray it that she's not the Fiend, she's just a Fiend. The Fiend is always going to be Bray Wyatt, which will be an interesting concept for them to pull off if they do go down that route. I'm in literally 99% sure she's going to be a Fiend character. Yes, I do think there's always going to be comparisons to Abigail, especially for the fact that she's female. I think that's straight away a thing that people are going to jump to. It's not what I'm currently seeing for the reasons I've just outlined in the video. If you think of reasons that otherwise think differently, please let me know in the comment section down below. Always happy to discuss theories with all of you guys, you know that. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you as always next time. Peace!